welcome back to Let's Play the Journeyman Project 3 Legacy of Time. Now that we got the guys of the Shaman and the Aviator leader, as well as the Lordom from the Shaman, we have a few more options available to us, and one of them is getting something that the Shaman hinted that we would need from Hicheo.
Shaman, I had the dream you spoke of. I saw everything you said I would see.
Interesting. Tell me about your dreams.
I was in your balloon, rushing into the air, and I can see the whole city. The lines on the pampas moved and formed pictures, animals, and people. And I can hear many other shamans talking to me. They told me to look to the temple.
And he's actually giving us some important clues here about what we need to do.
What did you see on the temple?
Recording!
I saw the faces of the spirits. They said that they knew where the totem was. Then I woke up from the dream.
Do you still have the talisman I gave you?
Why? Do you want the talisman? You gave it to me.
We have two options here, but they both do the same thing.
Hicheo, I need to take back the talisman for a little while. I need it for an important ceremony.
Oh, of course, my shaman.
The talisman is very ornate. It's shaped like a feathered dragon serpent, the Kuatl. One more trip to 7-Eleven and I'll have the whole set. That talisman is shaped suspiciously like the tooth-shaped gap in the stone pedestal we saw earlier.
And Arthur's right about that, but we'll get to that later.
Goodbye.
Thank you for visiting me, shaman. I can't wait to hear more stories later.
And like I said, having the Shaman for our guys opens up a few more options to us. First, I'm going to see if I can... Object analysis, item flint talisman, date found 28th of January, 524 AD, location Andes Mountains. A masterfully crafted ornament of possible religious significance. The gold figure clasping the flint rock is a Kuatl, a South American mythological dragon spirit. Okay, wow, that was actually a lot more stable. I think the issue with that was the Discord overlay, which I didn't even realize it was putting it on this game. I thought it'd be too old for it to recognize it, but it did. It was putting on an overlay, and I got the notification that I turned it off, and hey, now it's more stable. So let's talk to Hicheo's dad here. And here, you don't get any particularly, useful information, but you do get some background information. And
Shaman, you honor me. Your presence convinces the Earth Spirit Owalpa to bless my crops. I assume this visit concerns my son.
Tell me about your son.
Shaman, you know that Hicheo lost his mother in the wintering. He is a strong boy, but the pain, it struck him deeply. He was withdrawn for a long time. Besides me, you seem to be his only friend now. I appreciate the time you spend with him, and the gift was very generous.
I take that back. This is another way to find out that, if you didn't get the hint from the Shaman, this is another indication that you would need to get the talisman, or that he does have the talisman.
What gift are you talking about?
The beautiful talisman you gave him. Hicheo was always talking about it. When I first saw it, it looked so real. I thought that you had actually given him a true ritual relic. He cherishes it, and he wears it every day. Because of your attention and guidance, I know he will grow up to be a leader of our people.
I can see that you have much to do. I'll let you return to your work.
Thank you, Shaman, for coming. And when you speak to the Earth Spirit Owalpa, thank her for the abundant harvest.
The father doesn't even know it is an actual relic. as he said. And we are going to get use out of it. But first, we actually have to get over to the temple, specifically to the shaman's residence. Still not sure if that's just like his workplace or like if he actually lives there or what exactly that is, but granted, some of that may be because, it's been forever since I played this game, including in this playthrough, but let's head on back. So there's one more dialogue. Why does it stop there? That's kind of annoying. There's one more dialogue option we can get here. Yeah, I was going to say, I think I have to walk forward to talk to him.
Shaman Ualqua, is the ritual complete? Can you finish the story?
Oh, be careful here, Gage. This could be tricky. We don't want to change things. I have seen only pieces. There is still more to see. How is your work coming?
I will be honest. I still have much work to do. I have little gold leaf remaining. None of the aviators can be spared to help in my work. People keep distracting me. Oh, my apologies, Shaman. You do not need to hear such things. I promise you, the chronicling will be done.
Goodbye.
My shaman, may the spirits guard you.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of dialogue there, but because the game does not let you change history, which it would have been interesting. Like, I think I get what one is, just to make the game more accessible by removing deaths and like fail states. Because adventure games, especially on PC, were notorious for, arcane logic puzzles and just like being very easy to kill yourself. And this is honestly probably one of the most accessible titles ever. Because most of granted, I've been playing this since I'm a kid, so it makes sense to me, and I'm biased, but most of the puzzles, to me at least, are generally straightforward. There's one we'll get to later that's a little less straightforward, but generally most of them, it's like, okay, you know what you need to do, and there's no way to get yourself killed. There's no fail state. There's no timers or anything like that. You just do stuff.
I'm thinking joyride. Gage, you bring the cheese, I'll bring the wine, a little altitude, some romantic music, bright stars. Look into my eyes, Gage.
Alright, so here is the shaman's personal balloon. Let's hop in. Just like Arthur said, it's time for a joyride.
Someone just used this vehicle. The heating element is still hot.
Probably the shaman as part of his visions.
The jar on the floor of the gondola must contain the gas to lift the balloon. I assume the gas travels through the connecting tube into the jar to be ignited into hot air.
And now he's going to tell us to use the flintstone on the other flintstone.
Between your natural gas and my hot air, we should be able to get this jalopy off the ground. That stone piece above the gas tube is a flint striking block. If we had another piece of flint to strike against it, we could ignite the gas. If you want to fly in this bucket, we need to light this burner somehow. If only we could harness the heat of our love, Gage. Hey, if the block is made of flint, and the talisman is made of flint, that means it would be possible to open a cute little flint boutique. We'll call it Sparks, with a Z, and we'll have name tags and an antique cash register. What a coincidence! The talisman that you swindled from the boy is made of flint. Try striking that against the stone block. I'll bet we can use that talisman to make some sort of spark, or maybe a piece of the basket can be used for kindling, or your shoes are made of nitroglycerin, or your helmet has a lighter, or we'll both spontaneously combust. Help me, Gage! I'm losing it!
I love Arthur. But yeah, so this is the gas cylinder he was talking about earlier that feeds into here, provide the air, the hot air, once it's ignited for the balloon. And now, enjoy the show.
Then Sinclair says, I'm sorry, but that painting just sucks. But this time, instead of getting mad, I just walk away, as if saying, girlfriend, don't even go there. So then he says, Gage, have you been listening to a word I've said?
So yeah, as you can see, we have the same visions that that's actually a really good fire effect. Compared to the ones we saw in Buried in Time, that's actually really fucking amazing. But, yeah, so we see kind of the same visions of the future in the past that, that the others see. Now, in our case, these visions are all things we've actually seen in person, or probably have seen in person. Like, obviously the, we got the windmill, Atlantis, Shangri-La for the eyes, and then it jumps to the Nazi regime in World War II, as well as nuclear bombs in the end of World War II, and then the TSA, which is, like, these two make sense, obviously, within the context of what's going on. This one makes sense, too, I guess, but then the fact that they say they're treating, like, World War II like some sort of inflection point, and I suppose I could be jumping to conclusions here. Like, I think it's pretty obvious they used footage from World War II for both of these, of the Nazi regime and of the nuclear detonations in Japan, but it could very well represent the Third World War II and humanity's shift from nationalism and, racism and ethno-states and all that sort of stuff to a more peaceful coexistence, which would make more sense, I think, in the context of the game. But yeah, I still don't know what exactly triggers these visions, because this is a game of science, not mythology, right? So there's no magic here per se. It's got to be science somehow. So that's why I have the theory that I mentioned last time of, like, because we have a tie to the artifact by handling the first one, the shaman would obviously have a tie, and we don't know if he exposed Hacheo to it, so Hacheo might have the same tie to that artifact we do, if they went down to visit it or something. I don't know if he's got, like, a secret staircase to where the artifact is, or maybe they got a piece of it in a staff or something they handle. I don't know. Honestly, I think that's kind of the weakest part of all the lore of the game, if, like, you think too hard about it. But let's hear what Arthur has to say.
From this view, we can pretty much see everything. But I can give some telescopic help if you'd like to sightsee a little better. I hope you brought quarters.
Oh, does that give us options here now? Yep.
Those Nazca-like lines must represent different times in history. I assume you saw something in those lines while you were daydreaming. It's incredible that they use such a sweeping landscape as their book of history.
And we do have a very good view of things, and thankfully his telescopic enhancements make, like, the two brothers here much more visible, which is, this is our big clue that what we're looking for is in that pool.
Gage! See the two birds poised over the arrow-shaped pool? Those birds must represent the brothers. They're fighting over the pool.
Oh, good. He does it automatically. And this is this is actually very important what we're looking at here. Back in the day, you would have had to have like written this down on paper, but thankfully, because we live in the modern era, you can just take a screenshot or a cell phone photo of it.
Those 4 faces seem to have been placed in a specific orientation around the arrow shape. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what significance it has at the moment.
If you came back here after discovering their significance, he would probably have more to say, but I won't be taking that step. Not this time, at least. Perhaps another time. This is just more, yeah. So that's really the only things we can look at here. But we do get a good view of things. Like, I believe... Yeah, so there's the shaman's residence workplace. There's the temple. There's the pad to the city that we can't go to, which we can't get a great view of it, but we can see it looks like it's another kind of farming settlement that we don't have a great view of this one either, but presumably it's just a more developed farming settlement, kind of like what's going on with Hicheo's little farm place. But there's some bigger buildings there, so maybe there's like a market there too or something. And honestly, there probably should be more, but you know, budget limitations. Pretty skyline though, and of course we can see all the other war balloons making ready to defend their village, albeit futilely. And now we will lazily drift back to the shaman's residence. Yeah, it looks like there's a couple of houses there. There's something in that central pillar. Maybe that's like another temple or something. Could be where the scribe lives. God. See, that's how you know these games are done right. Because every... Oh, thank God. I thought we were going to crash for a second. Every environment in every Journeyman project game leaves me wanting more. I want to explore more. I want to see more. I want to learn more. To me, that's one of like the defining characteristics that you've done something right, that you've written things well, that you've designed them well, that they look good. Yeah, on this plateau we can see it's just a little farmhouse. Actually, they don't even have much in the way of maybe they just live there and they actually work Hicheo's father actually works over there, because that's where they actually have like the step farming thing going on. But anyways, it's time to get the second artifact. So we got this pedestal here, which Arthur will tell us to put the talisman in it.
Think back to kindergarten. Square things go into square holes, circle things go into circular holes, and triangle-shaped jewelry things go into triangular-shaped indentations on pedestals. I like a chail and everything, but I'd hate to put his talisman on a pedestal. Don't bother, I'll hit myself. Ow! Go ahead and put the talisman on the indentation gauge. I have no more puns.
And we shall indeed do that. The mechanisms here are also something that I wonder. Like, yeah, you could have some sort of pressure-operated plate that triggers some sort of mechanical pump system. You know, that drains the reservoir into another reservoir, and then when you lift it, it reverses the process.
He's single, he time travels, he parts water. Ladies and gentlemen, Gage Blackwood.
We didn't really part water, we more drained it. But I like the detail here. If you can see all the lilies and stuff on the ground.
Gage, we found it! The actual birthplace of Pez! I recognize some of these heads from the wall depicting the great story inside the top of the temple. The story on the wall referred to them as the element spirits.
And that's exactly what I was going to say, is that these are indeed the element spirits. Earth, water, wind, fire, and then time and space.
24 ugly heads on the wall, 24 ugly heads. If one of those heads should happen to fall, 23 ugly heads on the wall. I think what we have here is a primitive version of the popular arcade game Whack-A-Mole. Yes. This art piece says so much to me. It's as if the heads were yelling out, "Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil," but the other 21 of us are gonna have fun. Hey, Gage, this is just like your tub, only you have the Muppet baby heads. At what point do you think they turned to the pool contractor and said, "Okay, enough with the heads already"? I know it's overkill on the whole head thing, but I'll take this over the little peeing cherub boy any day. Well, I guess we're headed in the right direction. Ow! How did you find my groin, Gage?
So thankfully, because we have the photo of the top of the temple, we know which ones to push. And they have glowing eyes. Like the mechanical part of this, I get, but I don't know what causes the eyes to glow.
Hey, the eyes glow. Normally, only your eyes can light up a room, Gage. Apparently, the heads were meant to be pushed in. But why? There must be some purpose for all these heads. Could this be a strange, mysterious device used to amuse some giant baby? Remember what the shaman told us? He said that the first shaman asked the element spirits to help guard the totem. We've already faced air in the balloon, and we just emptied water. Maybe these faces somehow represent the next element. The Earth Spirit. I think we saw the answer to this puzzle on our balloon ride over the aviary. Remember the 4 heads we saw on the top of the temple? They were arranged specifically around an arrow shape. That clue was showing us the combination of heads to press in this pool. I know your mind is a finely honed aluminum trap, but in the off chance you've forgotten the pattern of the heads from the top of the temple, just ride the shaman's balloon up again. Once you memorize the pattern, return here and push the correct head for each of the walls.
And he's correct. You can use the shaman's balloon as many times as you need for as long as you need. So now we have our next set, and only one can be lit up, I think. Okay, yep, that triggers his hint.
Only one set of eyes glow at a time. I don't mean to play on your innate paranoia, Gage, but I think they're mocking you.
We'll choose the correct one now. Alright, then this one is, I assume, air, because he looks like kind of an eagle or some sort of bird. Oh, we gotta go one more. And this is Angry Man.
That seemed to do the trick. Sounds like we opened a door nearby.
And we did. And here, unfortunately, the fire effects are not, well, those are fine.
A pessimist might view a wall of fire popping up in front of them as a minor setback. But you, Gage, you're a rock. Stop crying. We can get through this.
These aren't as good, though, below it. And then we have the lava here. And again, this is another thing where I wonder, like, what is fueling this, that this is still working after presumably hundreds, maybe even thousands of years? Or perhaps it only triggers once it's opened. That could also be. That would make more sense. But even then, you'd still have the fuel degrading over time.
Cinnamon! No, Gage, your eyebrow's on fire.
And there's some amusing dialogue for walking into the fire. You can't kill yourself, but Arthur gets increasingly upset as you walk into it more times.
Instead of trying to sneak around this thing by camouflaging ourselves as fire, maybe we should try putting it out. Remember the great story the shaman told us? No, Gage, not the Star Wars trilogy. He said that the first shaman of their people asked the four spirits to help him protect the totem. Somehow the solution lies in the mythology of this culture.
And it is important to note that at this point in time when the game was made, there were only 3 Star Wars movies. Maybe 4 if Phantom Menace had come out. I don't know if it had come out by this point. I don't think so.
The four spirits represent the elements. Air revealed this place to us with the shaman's balloon. The pool was concealed by water, and a hidden door of earth blocked the entrance to this temple. Now the spirit of fire blocks our path. These element spirits really know how to carry a grudge. Remember the scribes' walls? They depicted scenes of the great story. Part of the story showed a young man with the talisman begging the water spirit for help. So we need to somehow have the element of water bail us out. How did Aquaman do it in the Super Friends?
And removing the talisman will cause the pool to fill, which in turn will also fill this void if we leave the door open because we have the heads pressed in.
In the great story, a young man defeats fire by convincing water to help. On the wall mosaic in the scribe's room, the young man wore the talisman that you used to drain the lake. What if removing the talisman from the pedestal causes water to refill the pool? With the earth door open, the water might flood into the fire corridor and extinguish the heat miser. I'm allergic to flame. Gage, don't walk into the wall of fire again. If you ruin the paint job on this jumpsuit, the warranty is forfeit. Gage, do you know why animals have a natural fear of fire? 'Cause it hurts! We've already faced earth, wind, and fire. Now headlining the show, blood, sweat, and tears!
What goes up must come down. A spinning wheel, turn around.
I don't remember the rest.
And that's all the dialogue he has. So, we will go and fill the pool and drain it into the fire. Fortunately, it keeps some stairs for us to get back up. Boop.
Bravo, Gage! That should be the last of the Element Guardians. Now let's search the rest of this temple.
And actually, there's something I want to do real quick. Don't worry, that'll remain open. But we're going to... Wrong keyboard. We are going to go back and see if we can give the talisman back to Hachale. As much as I'd like to keep it for study by the future, I mean, we can send in more research missions to get what we need. I think Hachale should have his artifact, because I believe Hachale will also be the only survivor of this village, or at least that's my headcanon.
Yeah, Shaman?
Goodbye.
Thank you for visiting me, Shaman. I can't wait to hear more stories later.
Okay, the game does not let us give him his talisman back, which is unfortunate, but... Okay, so we will go back to the pool. I just had to know. Because we do not have any more need of it. I presume the game keeps you from giving it back just so you can't accidentally screw yourself, and then that way they didn't have to program it to so that you could ask it back from him, and so it was probably just easier from that standpoint. There we go. And with the crescendo of music, we know we're close to our goal.
Here's gourmet food for thought. The shaman, thinking that you were the farm boy Achael, confided that he had a dream about the boy. The shaman saw Achael save the artifact and said that he had a great destiny. Gage, you were disguised as the boy when you visited the shaman. Do you think that he really dreamed about you?
Could be. I suppose we should make his vision come true. And we could admire the architecture down here. And that, if you remember, is that opening in the temple that we looked out and saw the Quadro's mouth. I forget which order these get played in, but there's 3 of these, I think. 1, 2, are there 4? I guess there are 4. There's the legacy.
I'll translate that large grouping of pictograms on the pillar. Ever since the spirit teachers first gave our shamans the gift of the dream seeing, our people have been entrusted with recording stories that have passed and stories that will come. We have seen that the wrath of the brothers spans across many generations. One terrible day in the shadows of tomorrow, the brothers will come to find the totem that will allow them to see time as our shamans do. They will destroy our city, but our culture, our stories, and our totem will be saved by a brave warrior. Far, far into tomorrow, more years than can be counted by generations, the brothers will return for a final battle when all of the totems are brought together. Our shamans have seen many murky dreams about this coming conflict. Although the outcome is uncertain, the fate of the world will be decided.
Oh, that sounds awfully familiar, doesn't it?
Far, far into tomorrow, more years than can be counted by generations, the brothers will return for a final battle when all
Okay,
of the
so
totems
these
are
2 are
brought
the
together.
same.
Our shamans have seen many murky dreams.
All right, let's
about
grab
this
the
coming
artifact.
conflict. Although the outcome is uncertain, the fate of the world will be decided. That must be the artifact! Hurry and grab it, Gage, and I'll jump us back to TSA.
Let's grab it.
Excellent work, Gage. While you were gone, Dalton and Michelle discovered something remarkable about the first artifact.
We concentrated our efforts on the overlapping symbols covering the artifact. With a little luck, we found formulae beneath several layers of inscriptions.
And this is the remarkable part. The formulae details the physics necessary for time travel. The very same physics that powers our own jumpsuits.
So the secret of time travel was purposely hidden in our past? And Dr. Sinclair invents that same technology centuries later.
Dear Lord, what is this thing?
Quothalis have entered the Earth system?
Nothing has deterred them. They've ignored the Cyrolan ambassador's plea for peace talks. The symbiotry appears powerless. It looks like it's all up to us.
I'll find the last artifact.
And 2 down, 1 to go, with the Quafalis closer than ever. And I think I've mentioned it before, but it still does irk me that, like I assume it must be a TSA procedure regulation thing, but the fact that we jump back real time to, like if we're in the past for 3 hours, we jump to 3 hours forward, in the present, so to speak. And when we could be saving ourselves a lot of time by, jumping back to the instant we left, but it's a minor gripe. So yeah, next time we will commence our search in full for the 3rd artifact. But until then, thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.